Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? Hi. Hi. If I tuck my phone a little bit behind the laptop, my view will be a little better. What's up? Happy Friday, people. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. What has everybody got going on? I got MP in the chat. I see David lurking in the background. How's it going, people? What are we up to today? Um, Yeah, it's Friday. It is hot in this garage. Man. Um, yeah, I need to get some way to airflow this garage out because on the Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays I do still wake up early for the most part. And you know, do the show in the garage and then work out in the garage, and it is sweltering in here. I open the side door and it's nice and cool outside, and I just need to get that ventilation in here. But yeah, how you doing? What's up?
Good morning. Good morning, friend.
What's going on, dude?
We had a very localized power outage to just my laptop.
Okay, that's
I was
weird.
trying to figure it out, playing with wires and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Friday. I am
It
feeling
is
excellent. I'm on
good.
day 7 of getting 16 of Ryan's abs.
Wait,
Uh,
say that again. 16 what?
I'm on day 7 of trying to acquire Ryan's 16 abdominal muscles.
Ah.
I have 2 up top,
Mm-hmm.
very similar to the Statue of Liberty's head in Planet of the Apes. Backing out.
How's it going? How do you feel about it? You feel like you can take it to the end and in the next summer trip to Arizona
Um,
or earlier?
so realistically, Ryan did provide a very good, well detailed, and thought out plan
Mm-hmm.
on our dad's chat. And I don't know if you looked through it, but it's very long, it's very detailed, and there's no way that I'm gonna do all that starting on day 1. So, like, my challenge is just eating enough calories. f That's always been my problem ever.
Yeah.
Like, he sent me a shopping list, so it's like one little change a day. Um, because like, he'll put those Instagram videos up. He's shirtless and greased and making perfectly proportioned meals. I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I went on a Ryan program for a little bit. I've been on a bunch of different programs, and it's a struggle, like, getting it all in there, like getting all the groceries, getting all the meal prep done. It's like in the area where I live, the or where I work. I work for, a decent amount of wealthy people, and you see these people, and I have intimate knowledge sometimes of, like, husbands or wives that are high achievers, and their spouses do nothing, right? They don't work. And they look amazing because they like have some sort of regimen like that, and they just eat beautifully, cook beautifully, work out all the time, like all that stuff. Like, yeah, it's a lifestyle, it's a full-time job. There are people in the gym, multiple times a day or for 5 hours a day and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a grind for
Yeah.
sure. And I think Ryan's just, he's been living that lifestyle for a really long time. So he's used to it. He can spot an ounce of blueberries from a mile away. He knows the sound of a tablespoon with his eyes closed.
He
Like
gets
he just puts something in his hand and he's just like, yep, that's exactly what I need.
he can feel moisture affecting the space around, or sorry, he can feel ketchup infecting the space around him.
He can do push-ups anywhere, no matter what the crowd looks like.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
yeah, he's a beast.
Ryan came to my as Dylan knows, our third brother Ryan. I did have a little bit of gratitude yesterday for Ryan. I went to the gym yesterday. It was my wife's birthday. She still had to work. And this guy came in, and it wasn't a full gym, and he looked like he's just kind of starting. And one thing I've taken on, a little habit that I've taken on, is if there's an opportunity to ask somebody to help me, whether
Oh,
it's like
okay.
spotting
Yep.
or something, and let's say like there's somebody in the gym, like there's a few guys that go at the same time I do, and like nobody ever talks, and
Yeah.
like maybe I might not really need help, but it's like, hey man, can you give me a hand here? Just to meet them, just to kind of break that boundary. I'll ask them to for a spot. And this one guy kind of knew, and I asked him to spot me, and he said, "Hey man, what are some things that I can do to kind of get my workout going?" And I thought about Ryan. It's like, what would Ryan say in this particular moment to this gentleman who's just starting out? And I said, which I think Ryan would probably say is, well, what does your habit look like? Like, how many
Yeah.
days do you come in, or what's your plan? He was on like his second day in. And I think like even 5 years ago, I would have been like, well, you got to do your delts, your trapezoids, and your sets. You got to get your sets in. Then you got to get your diet dialed in and your macros. So yeah, all that. Um, probably too much at once. So I got to channel Ryan yesterday. So
Good
thank you,
stuff.
Ryan, if you're awake and listening. It looks like we have MP in the stage.
We do.
What up, bud?
Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I was using my phone too because my computer usually craps out on me.
Right on, man. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm awake. We had it's usually Friday's usually I get to sleep until about like 6 instead of my usual like 3:30. But baby was up early, kids were up early, and so it was arts and crafts this morning before the final day of church camp.
Okay. Nice.
Nice.
That's Jason's jam right there. Some arts and craft in the morning.
Yeah.
After making crepes, of course.
If you zoom into this space behind me,
Oh, we
you
did not
see
go that.
fencing area.
Do your
That
your
is
kids your
absolute
kids
mess.
do your kids go down there and make a mess with you, Jason? Or is that like
Yeah,
your space and they have their own arts and crafts space?
they do. MP, we've never met in person.
I've
What
never
is your
met him in
first
person
name?
either.
I'm familiar with you. I see you online. We were just talking about the gym. I enjoy that you post your daily progress with your wife. I think that's great.
Mhm.
What's your first name again? Because this is the
Matt.
first time, and I want to make sure that we were on a first name basis.
Matt.
Matt. I knew
Yep.
it. That's what I thought it was.
You gotta go. MP has a VDADS episode. You gotta go through those backlogs one of these days, Jason, and listen
Well,
to those
that was the
podcasts.
early days too.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a long time ago. You got to go on I think it's VDADS on Apple or Spotify, and you just got to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And you'll find 20, 30 episodes of people that Ryan interviewed.
Yeah, that is on my list. I do want to kind of dive into that and
Yeah,
Yes,
I
listen
sir.
to
listen
these
to them
people.
every once in a while. I love those episodes.
And
Yeah.
I catch you in the morning. You have like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, Matt?
For what? For work?
On Twitter, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Mm-mm.
Thinking of someone else.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just
That's
always
GMB friends, or it used to be.
always lingering in some sort of befriend something related.
Yeah. Right on. All right. What do you guys got going on this weekend? What's happening today?
I got contractors galore at my house. The bathroom's getting redone now, so they're finishing up before tile and everything. I'm working on the basement. The flooring guys were here. And then tomorrow we're going to the camper, so I just can't wait for tomorrow.
Just spending the weekend in the camper?
Yeah. We usually
Is
try to
it-
go down whenever we're free.
Is anybody working while you're gone, or is it just today?
They'll probably no, they won't be here this weekend.
Yeah.
But it's the guy who's doing it is his daughter goes to school with my oldest.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
and with my wife working from home, they just come and go whenever. So it's
Matt,
pretty-
where do you live?
South Jersey,
No way.
like the farmland of South Jersey.
Yeah, you probably know that me and Ryan are from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, I do. And it's I think Ryan met my brother a year or two ago,
Uh-huh.
and somewhere in I think got together in Delaware or something.
Yeah, another East Coaster. Awesome. I love making those connections. Yeah, where is Blaze, David? I don't know. Where is Blaze?
He's still probably
Where?
reeling from his win last night.
Oh, yeah. He played last night too?
Yeah, he did. He won,
Nice.
and he took us to the playoffs now.
Oh yeah, you're on his team. I told Rob, I'm like, Rob, I love you. I love everything that you do, but I cannot stand watching people play cards. I've never watched poker, World Series of Poker, any of the TCG tournaments. Like, it's so freaking boring to me. Like, just sitting there. I don't know what it is. I tried yesterday. I think I watched one and a half games on my way to picking up my daughter and then waiting for her to come out. And I was just dying the whole time.
Yeah, I mean they can be boring in the beginning. Like towards the end, they get like once it's down to the wire, they get exciting. But I mean,
Yeah.
the chat's always the best part of it, for sure.
Was he playing poker? Is that what he was doing?
No, the V Friends game, Rob Messer. So Chels comes in here a little bit, but her husband Rob, he created a spin-off of the V Friends TCG game, like where you use low score cards instead of high score cards, so that the decks weren't as expensive. You didn't have to buy the best cards in the game. You could just have the worst cards in the game and play it a different way. And so he created a league, and at least every Thursday night, they have 6 or 7 matches or something like that, maybe more. And Blaze is a team owner, and he's got the dad's team. I think it's MP Blaze, Jolly Jacko,
and Dr. Feelgood.
and Dr. Feelgood.
Excellent.
Yeah. So 6 or 9 teams or something like that. Well, it should be an even number, right? I don't know. Like I said, I can't watch. Can't do it. It ruined my Thursday night streams anyways. I couldn't be on them anyways. I was like home, and the wife and kids, I got to pay attention to them and not be sitting there on Twitch streaming. So I wasn't
Yeah.
even doing those streams anyways. So it was fine. It's fine. I'll talk to Rob one of these days. We'll get him back on track.
I come home from work now. My oldest is, can we watch people stream? Can we watch them open cards on whatnot? I'm like, sure, buddy, but do not swipe anything.
Yeah, get your finger off that swipe button. It's so hard, dude. I got my wife into Whatnot, and then stuff shows up at the house, and I'm like, "What's this?" And she's like, "I got it on Whatnot." I'm like, "Damn!" Like, what did I do? One day I show up, and there's 60 like Apple charger cords in a box. And I'm like, what is this? She's like, oh, whatnot. I'm like, damn it. But our kids go through them, so it is what it is. Yeah. All right, let's talk about this reading. How you guys feel about shame?
So surprisingly, I remember this from last year, this exact reading.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, man. Some of them are gonna repop.
Yeah. Same reading, different conversation.
Hmm.
I read this. My oldest was hanging out with us in bed last night, and I read it and I asked her about it. I asked her, "What is there anything that you feel shame or ashamed about?" Thankfully, nothing relating to me and Kristen, but she is kind of ashamed by her freckles.
Mm. Okay.
That tracks with 12 years old in appearance. And she doesn't have a lot. She says that she has freckles in weird spots, like on her legs and a few on her face. And I was like, well, have friends ever commented on your freckles? And she's like, no, it's just something that she sees in the mirror when she looks in the mirror. Because she's in the she's in the mirror stage of teenager,
Yeah.
becoming self-aware. And that kind of generated a question in my head of like the things that are internal, like internal shame versus the things that either come from like parents or come from friends. And so I started thinking about my own childhood. One thing that I remember being kind of ashamed about was I would get really bad heat rash on my inner thighs and under my arms. I still do to this day, and I got it in Arizona actually. But I used to be really self-conscious about it. And also I had a wart on my hand that friends would make fun of, and those kind of similar. But I remember hearing, and you kind of hear once in a while about like, oh, my parents made me feel really ashamed of. Could be your weight, it could be your appearance, could be your skin, could be acne. And I think that's a really important thing for like, especially teenagers and our kids. That was kind of my takeaway. Where does my shame come from? And is it because somebody has told me about it, or is it just because it's internal? Those are kind of my thoughts. Thanks, Chels.
What do you think, MP?
I mean, I kind of feel like when we read this, we talked about it last year, I definitely had like try to dive in and let the things that my kids are not obsessed about, but really like to let them go like almost balls to the walls with it. With the oldest, he loves doing arts and crafts and anything music. My middle loves anything reckless. So we kind of just dived into that and let them pretty much experience everything they can related to that. I mean, we did the karate thing. We're doing church camp because there's a lot of singing and stuff. I think he starts art camp in a week or so. Because we didn't want them to feel like, oh, well, I'm a boy. I shouldn't be doing this. I need to just be involved in sports and do that growing up. Because I mean, when we were younger, that's pretty much what it was. And then as far as like the shame aspect, I mean, when I grew up, I had nervous twitches, and like I kind of still do. And I see it in my oldest. He kind of does like the same thing I did. He like blinks his eye, he like opens his mouth, like, and closes it a bunch. When I grew up, like I'm not saying that like it was wrong on my parents, but they were like, oh, you're doing your twitch again. Here goes the cat. With my oldest, we kind of just ignore it, and then I'll talk to him. I'm like, try to get him to be less nervous and open up and be like, oh, well, are you feeling a little nervous about something, bud? And like have him open up about it this way. He's just not internalizing it the entire time.
Yeah, I like all that. Did you let your middle demo some of the house?
Oh yeah,
Speaking
he's
of recklessness.
yeah. So he's usually the helper whenever I'm doing something. I hear him come running and he's like, oh, I want to help. I want to help. And then the oldest is like jealous. He's like, oh, I want to help. I'm like, all right, well, and most of the time I'm like, all right, well, I'm not giving you a power tool. So we can do like, hey, how about you pick up this? How about you? And the oldest is, I like to say he's like my brother, because when we were growing up, my brother would sit on the edge of the sandbox and I'd be just in the middle in the mud and everything. Where my
Yeah.
oldest, he does not like to get dirty. And the middle, he's just like going. So I definitely dive into like letting him help me whenever possible. I mean, when we were doing the fence, he was out there digging holes at the auger with me, and it was, I
Mhm.
mean, it was funny trying to watch. I mean, all 40 pounds of him push this 200-pound auger down.
Yeah, it's
But I
good
mean,
stuff.
growing up, like that's what my dad always let me help when he was doing projects. Even my grandfather, like I would go over to help him, just like do the leaves and stuff. And then he decided one time, and when I was in high school, he's like, "Oh, well, you're old enough. I'm going to rebuild my shed, but I'm going to sit on the bench and tell you what to do."
Oh, nice.
So it was like kind of like learning by failing, essentially. Because I would do
Yeah.
something and you check, he's like, "No, that's wrong. You got to take it apart and do it again." So I've always liked being hands-on. So that's why with the middle liking it too. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go all into this. You're probably gonna go into a trade, and that's perfect for me.
Fail is first attempt in learning.
Yep.
I think that's the
Mhm.
best way. Dom, do you have any thoughts about the reading? Kids, yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like mine's very blocked. Like I've been struggling since I read the reading to kind of think of, exactly where the shame came into play. Like I know there are things that I had growing up. I was just very shy and self-conscious about stuff, and I don't know where exactly that came from. Like I don't have a reference point of anything that like my family did to me or anything like that. Like I know my dad always kind of commented on, how small and scrawny I was, but like he also referenced that like that's how he grew up too. Like he was small and scrawny too. But he's like, once I got into, high school sports, yada yada yada, it changed for me. And so he had always had a little bit of a push to get into sports, and they were kind of okay. It wasn't fully my thing. I played enough of them in like pre-high school to know that to know how to play every game and have fun, but I've never really been competitive. And when it got to the point of competition or like, extra lessons and kids, being high performers, I think that's when I kind of stepped away from everything. Um that I think that's kind of the thing where my mind went. And then for my kids, um yeah, I don't know. Like Bailey seems to have no shame at all. Like she honestly, to me, I kind of get a little bit of a like she's a little arrogant, like she's a little full of herself. Like she wants the attention, and so I think we've done a pretty good job of like not passing any shame on to her. Um even though I tend to be someone who, like the book references, like makes those little cuts. Um, and I try to catch myself and I try to stop in the moment or circle back and apologize, or, kind of make that clean again. Um, Brooklyn, I think she's probably dealing the most with it. And so that's why right now we have her in therapy and it's going well. Her and Bentley did like a sibling therapy the other day where they both went into the therapist's office because they've been having a lot of problems, and
Mhm.
they've actually been, Amy's been working on something with them, some sort of like rewards based system instead of a punishment based system, and they've been doing really good the last week. They actually, I don't want to say for the first time ever, but like they actually like hugged each other You know, like I don't know if that's a thing with anyone else's kids, but with those two, because they've been fighting so much, and you know, Brooklyn's was the baby and he's the baby now, so we all know that you know, having a baby below you takes away all your attention and stuff like that. Um, she's had a real chip on her shoulder with him. It seems like he picks fights with her, but then she gets in trouble. Like we say the phrase be the bigger person a lot in this house, and like uh, it's the right thing to say, but it's also like a little unfair. Like if the younger person just is picking on her and manipulating the situation. So I think they're learning some good stuff in therapy and they're doing really well. And like I said, they've hugged a couple of times and it's been super cute. Like I love it.
What's the age gap?
So Brooklyn's 12. She's gonna be turning 13 in November, and Bentley's 6. So they got 6 years apart. It's a pretty big age gap. They're, you know, and I think he's just doing it for attention. He's doing it because you know, he loves the attention too. You know, he's like his older sister Bailey. Like they love the attention, and Brooklyn kind of likes the shadows. Um, or maybe she's just been pushed in the shadows because of the other two. I don't know. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I mean, my boys started. I mean, it's the bickering and the fighting. Just I mean, I'd say probably the last once summer started, it ramped up, and we thought it was the oldest. But I'm like, stop being a bully, stop pushing your. And the more I just hang in the background and wait a couple minutes, I realize that it's the middle one whining and trying to manipulate the system because he knows that we're paying attention to the baby, and then we're coming back to see why they're. So we've had a couple timeouts where they have to sit and face each other. I'm not no hey, go to your room, no, do this. Is you guys are sitting in the middle of the room, you guys are facing each other, no making faces, no doing that, and then it ends up I say 3-4 minutes, and I start hearing giggles because they're making each other laugh and this and that. I'm like, see, you don't hate each other. I said, you guys are
yeah,
just, and it's to me, it's the competition. It's them being so close in age. But I mean, apparently the age gap doesn't mean anything. But yeah,
no, it's kind of always a thing.
yeah, it's we thought it was healthy competition effort, but now it's becoming a lot. So we have to. I don't know. We might do the therapy thing now that you say that. But we're hoping that once the school year starts that it goes away a little bit with because she'll go into daycare, so she won't be home all the time. She'll get picked up 2 hours after they will, so they'll have some alone time. And we started doing it's Dad at Jackson Day, Dad at Carson Day, so they get their alone time still.
I could use a vibe check from you guys. I feel like this is right up Chel's alley, and I was hoping that David could maybe chime in, but he spilled his coffee on his shirt, so I had to leave. So you brought up therapy. I've mentioned before my middle Junie, she's somewhere on the spectrum, and like black and white thinking. So she loves horses, and in the summer, like at this particular time, she is very into her own world of horses. Like I helped her build this barn out of this cardboard box, and she'll play and she'll set up horses and like just kind of build this world in her head. And that's like her thing. And she's 10. And here's where I kind of need you guys and anybody in the chat here, and these 18 people here. So she sometimes has difficulty with friends, like having multiple friends. We are having like a party at a park, and when she has friends over, we sometimes feel like we have to kind of micromanage and be like, okay, well, you can have this person over, but not this person over, because sometimes, like, without saying it, it's like Junie gets really wrapped up in the relationship between her friends. It's like if a friend bends out of shape, and in her head it's like, oh, they're not my friend anymore, they're this person's friend. And with her playing, because that's what she loves doing the best. In the past, it's been like she'd have a friend over and she would want to do these, like she would want to play with her horses with her friend, and the friend was kind of past that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So where I'm kind of struggling, and where me and Kristen are kind of struggling, is how do we handle a situation where Junie might invite friends to do this with her, but the friends aren't into it? And would there be shame involved in that, where it's like, oh, I like this thing, but my friends don't like it? Because like sometimes we're like, well, is that like a younger thing? Is that more of is that like an 6-year-old thing? And is that something that we should let her figure out on her own? Or is it like hiding it? You know what I mean?
That's a tough one for sure. I know
Mhm.
like the first part that you talked about it, because Brooklyn's that way too, where she seems to struggle a little more with multiple friends than just single, hanging one-on-one. She goes through that same thing. So, in school, when it's a group setting, she seems to have a little bit more problem getting together where there's multiple people. I think in a house setting, she's fine. At our house, it seems to be okay, but I've kind of noticed it with the other girls too. Like they will split off. Like when we've had parties and Brooklyn's had 6 friends over, they do tend to go, like kind of pair off in a way, and then kind of move around amongst each other. But she's definitely better on a one-on-one situation. And I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Like it's hard to sit there and have a conversation with 6 people and connect and talk all about the same topic and talk all at the same time. Like, even in the show, like when we have, 3, 4, 5 people up on the stage, it's hard. It's a little bit harder than just having like a one-on-one conversation with someone. But I think that's just normal and they're learning. She's learning through those moments. Um, the second part, I don't know, being into something that maybe is a little immature for her age, but like that's her thing. Yeah, that definitely seems like it's leaning towards the level of like shame. Like you shouldn't be doing this because you're older now and none of your friends like it. But like if that's her passion and that's a tread lightly situation, and I don't know about that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my favorite thing to watch is her doing that.
Yeah.
And I would definitely hate myself if I were to attach shame to that for her.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely treading lightly for sure.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little bit teary out here. It's raining on my eyeballs.
I mean, it's tough. I don't think you should attach shame to her still liking that. I mean, back to what Dom said, like 5 minutes ago, like growing up, I was not the most athletic. I did sports and stuff, but I had my geek side. I loved Pokemon cards. I loved playing video games. I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I played board games. I did all that. And I mean, I don't think you should attach shame to it. I would kind of try to expand it a little bit. It could lead to a love of veterinarian, and she could want to become a vet of horses and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely going that direction. And
yeah, so
we will push that as long as we can.
As like the friend thing, mine are still young, so we only really like get together in like group settings for like birthdays and stuff like that. So we don't do we did like a one-on-one like little, it wasn't even a sleepover, it was like a stay until bedtime type of thing. So
Stay over.
that's hard for me. I don't really know. I can't give any help on that one.
Well, I like what you said about like how you were into video games and Pokemon cards, and I can relate it a little bit to like VFriends, right? Like, so no one in my outside life, like my normal IRL local life, like no one knows about this part of me or knows detailed about it, right? But I found a community and I connect with people, and that's why I like, we do these things. And so I think your daughter, she'll realize, or you can help her realize that, like, okay, maybe her friends aren't into that aspect right now or at all, or will never be. So she needs to connect with them in the ways that that they have common interests. And then in the meantime, she can search for someone who's into that aspect, or that's just her passion. Like, that's just her thing that she does. And that's her thing that you guys do with her. Like, maybe it becomes the girls, she does other stuff, or maybe you guys take some trips to some farms or whatever, and like that's just your way of bonding with her until she finds someone, because there's someone out there, right, for everyone and every passion, until she finds that someone that's like, I love horses too. And it's like, okay, I found my new bestie. Like,
Yeah,
like how Chels found Tom.
I did meet, I did have an 8th grade student last year who was like definitely Junie at 10 years old. And we had some hilarious conversations because she was also autistic. And she was like, yeah, I'm autistic. Does your daughter line up horses in a neat row too? And like, yeah.
And that girl's older, right?
Yeah, she was 8th grade. Like totally.
So I know that's like,
totally.
I know it's kind of like a weird thing, but that would be like, it's not out of character for someone younger to hang out with someone older. Like when you get to adult ages, I wouldn't say it would be out of character for you to somehow, I don't know if you even can, but like connect your daughter with that girl. Like they're different ages, but they have a really, strong passion for horses. Like that could work.
Mhm.
It may be a little weird because the age gap is, decent, but it may not be through the older grades of school,
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
No problem, man.
Yeah. That was good.
Appreciate you bringing it up. It's good stuff.
Thanks for chiming in on that. Appreciate it. Yes, she is incredible.
All of the kids are.
Against me.
All right,
Well,
man.
all of our kids are the best. They are.
Goated. Time to work out. Time to sweat. This freaking hot garage. Sun's
Get
up over here.
Get those abs moving.
Get those abs moving. All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. MP, thanks for coming up. It's good to hang out. Good to
Chelsea,
chat.
I meant everybody's kids, all of our kids, everybody's.
Yeah, we'll do it again for sure. Everybody in the chat, we had a slow chat today. We had our David and our Chels. I see Dylan lurking. Love you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. And I don't think we'll come tomorrow, but we'll see.
It's
See how I feel.
Saturday.
Life is whimsy, man. For sure, Monday. Everybody have a great week. And peace.
See ya.
See you guys. Music.